Hello, and welcome back to another Dev Live. We are live Dev Talks Cluj, and I'm happy to have two wonderful guests with me. Gabriel Tataro, managing director at Ideas Consulting.
Hello there.
Hello, Gabriel.
Hi.
And Radu Bumbulea, group head of cloud at Endava.
Hello.
Hello, Radu. And maybe just a short introduction about you and the company you're representing for our audience.
Okay, a few words.
Few words, yeah.
My name is Gabriel Tetaro. As previously said, I represent Integration Data Systems. We are a data management company specialized in data warehouse solutions and services, and shifting also to product development, software development, and other support activities.
Thank you. Radu?
So it was all nice meeting you, Radu Bonfolea. My official head is Group Head of Cloud Delivery inside Endava. Basically, I have two roles, growing the cloud capabilities across all our delivery units. And on the commercial side, RFPs, or when there's a lot of blood in the clouds, I'm fully in, and also involved in a lot in communities and non-working technical events.
Yeah. Actually, Radu, I think he attended most of the Dev Talks Cluj that we've organized and a lot of the Bucharest edition. So thank you, Radu. We have a really interesting topic, how to find and develop talent for your tech career. And I have some questions prepared here. So my first question is, what are the key skills and qualities that tech companies are currently looking in potential hires? Things have changed a lot in the last year, so our audience might be interested in what's important now whenever you're recruiting tech talent.
For sure. Well, it depends on the needs. So on one hand, you might need really skilled people, the real experts. And then in this case, the recruitment process is really tough and it has to be really specific so that you can meet your needs. Maybe you want to have expert services. So maybe you want to develop a really specific product. So you need a really specific set of skills. So you need to map this against the market and take what you need. But if you want to look into the future and create your own team and scale up, then in my view, I would say the most important is the attitude. And another key point is how to make the newcomers loyal to your vision and to propagate your willing of doing things and attract them to really align to your vision and mission and keep them involved because if you are investing in training, you will need this kind of investments after some time. So yes, I think it's a lot of effort here.
And one or two hot technologies for ideas for which you are recruiting strongly now or maybe in the future?
Currently, we are looking into database specialists on Oracle, on the Microsoft technologies, IBM as well. We are looking into the DevOps because we need to merge the data management topics on the cloud computing side, creating these engineered platforms, how they are called, and of course the programming languages, because we are also focusing on software development like Java, of course, Python.
Okay, Radu, what's your view on it?
Well, we have the soft skills, we have the technical skills. On the technical side, now we are in a big hype on AI ML. So we should expect in the next 3 or 5 years, this would be the big bubble as data used to be in 2020, and we had IoT in 2015, 2016. So if you want to go a next step, ML, AI is the next big thing. Data is also very important because everything is connected over there. And from the programming languages point of view, Python, for example, it's on the way. So everybody's looking on Python, especially because data, AI, and ML are almost everywhere on top of Python. Don't forget about the soft skills. And I think the communication skills are one of the most important things because in the end, we work in teams. And for the large project, it's not about you as a person, it's about 10, 50, 100 people that needs to work together to be able to deliver something.
Okay. And taking the same question, but for candidates who are looking to start their career now in technology, how would your advice change for them?
Yeah, I from the beginning I was very close to the university and related to the schools and things like that. And the most important thing here, especially if you are at the beginning, is the theoretical part. Why? Because you have a very small time window, 3 years or 4 years, depending on what university you are, when you when you will be paid indirectly by your parents, maybe, to be able to learn without expecting something from you. So in that 3 or 4 years, focus on the theoretical side, programming language, data, ML, you name it, because after that, any other training that will be provided by a company or by somebody else will expect something from you. So it is the perfect time when you can look and research on the things that you find them interesting, even if they are not yet on that bubble. Because ML and AI exist. I remember in 27 we were doing ML on top of SQL Server, but now it's a real bubble when everybody's looking for it. But maybe in 5 years will not be on that side anymore.
And Gabriel, the same question, but turned another way. Let's say that you are starting your career now with all the knowledge that you have. How would you structure your learning process if you'd be to start as a junior now?
Oh, it's a really good question. I talked also previously, I will start as early as possible. Start working as early as possible, maybe 16. If
Okay.
really, I would look for an amazing leader or let's say boss, so I can learn from him. In private, I would just I don't know, look over internet just to see, okay, what are the hot topics? So scan a bit the market to see the long time perspective. So sort of creating like a roadmap for my future, maybe. And I will try different things to see what are my aptitudes. Yeah, so I can do this. Maybe I can do programming. Maybe I'm skilled in networking. Maybe I'm skilled in ML. Maybe I'm skilled in data. And I will try to learn the fork and the knife. So I will definitely try to learn the SQL to retrieve the data. Try to learn some programming language like C or Python or Java or whatever, and so that I can know which direction do I like and build on that. Yeah. And then, of course, first years you have to learn at the working place, and if you have a good mentor, then there's nothing, and the good team. This is key. If you have the support of your team, then I think you can achieve everything.
How do you recognize? Because I mean, finding a good mentor sounds easy, and maybe it is for you now. But for a junior who just finished university, or maybe he's still in his last years, how do you spot a good mentor or maybe a good team? I mean, what should they look for?
Well, I think first of all they should look on results, and at the interview they should have like an open conversation to understand what is the team about. I would ask, okay, what is your core team? This guy, this girl, and so on.
Okay.
For how long are they in your team?
Okay, that's a good question.
7 years, 8 years. Okay, this is its core team. Okay, how involved are they into training? Because I did this in my first interview. I was a youngling, and the guy just asked me, okay, and in terms of salary, what do you want? And my answer was, swear God, I have no word here, because I can offer you nothing. The only thing that I can offer is my goodwill. So, and my goal is that you feel motivated to pay me after I
prove myself.
Exactly.
Okay, you've mentioned about theoretical study initially. How do you balance? Because when you finish university, from our studies, companies look at internships and other programs like this. And how do you balance theoretical part with the practical?
Well, most of the theoretical part that you're involved in usually are part of the university that some people are thinking that are boring, like OPE programming and like that, but still they are building the grounds to be able to understand better different concepts like database. But if you think about how you do an optimization of the database, the core things that you learn will be very, very important. The same thing is that if I go now in a university hall with students, I will ask them, if you know what is a transistor or how a processor works, almost nobody will know about it. But you need to understand the core concepts to be able to do something more automated. Because the secret is that if somebody would employ you, even if you know nothing, in 3 months' time, based on a good theoretical knowledge, you will be able to add value to a team, because learning Java, learning .NET or Python is something that in 1 or 2 months you can do it pretty easily. But if you don't understand the concepts, you will be like a robot. I don't want to say a monkey.
Yeah.
You will do very repetitive things that AI might replace you, but you will not be able to take that real decisions that make a difference between a success solution, IT solution, or something that would be like the rest that are on the market.
But anyway, just to complete what you're saying, each time I'm really, because I'm reviewing the concepts over and over, and based on the knowledge that you acquire, you understand the concepts a bit differently. So, and you have this aha moment. So this is why it's done like this. It's amazing, and I think everybody should do this.
And you've mentioned about theoretical part beside university, because most of our audience, they've already chosen their university, so they cannot change much there. Are there some trainings, online classes, platforms you'd advise them, and you've probably recommended to a similar audience in the past?
Yes. So depending on the battle that you want to go, and let's take one example. Here's one. It is the DevOps path or the AI path. Go and look on learning paths for certifications. For example, for DevOps on AWS or DevOps on
Azure.
on DevOps for Terraform, because Terraform now pretty hot because they changed the licensing model. But nevertheless, go cover the learning path that could be free if you're talking about AWS, talk about Azure. Maybe you need to pay something for the one for Terraform, but in the end, go on the learning path that are for certification, even if in the end you don't take the certification, because you have the theoretical concepts, you have the hands-on for free, the labs and so on, and also you learn also the language, the tools, and you understand much better how to do different things. And also there's very good books, but it will be pretty challenging to decide exactly which one you need to go on to cover. But I would say the learning paths from each vendor are the best options that you should use. AWS, Google Cloud, and Microsoft Azure are providing for free DevOps development, AI, ML, data, infrastructure, you name. They have certifications, but learning path is almost free.
Okay. Now we are moving from a fully remote environment, which has been the fact for the last years, to a hybrid work environment. But how do you think remote is changing hiring and maybe development plans, and how you grow and develop tech professionals? So first the hiring, how it is impacted, and then maybe the way they get trained then.
I will tell you my view. Okay, so I think remote work is very bad for the newcomers, honestly, because they need constant pampering, they need guidance, and you need human interaction. So you need mentorship, and it's very tough to raise juniors. It's tough also for the more experienced personnel, honestly. And I'm not talking here only about let's say mental challenges that may arise.
Yes.
You don't know where to draw the line between being in the office and being at home. So this happens. Also, sometimes if you just try to verbalize the problem to somebody, you come up with the answer. So just by asking the correct question. And I'm not sure that everybody is able to do that correctly. Yes, if you are to deliver a specific project and you are a senior and your team is very small, yes, it can work. If we're talking about very big projects where you have the agile methodology and a lot of parties are involved, then it's very hard to control. Yes, it's so a hybrid between these two, yes, is desirable, but it has to be treated with really good care.
Okay. What's your view, Radu?
On top of what was already mentioned, I would say that recruiting remote working people that are working from anywhere for the senior staff is very easy because they're already mature. The biggest challenge is for the juniors because they might not have the guts to ask for support, so they might be stuck 1 or 2 days. And the senior people that are also working remote will have other stuff. Also, you don't hear what is happening around you, and so you don't know exactly that some things are happening on 2 or other 3 streams that could affect you. So lack of communication, and it's very hard to be able to do something on that side, except to have the mic and speakers all the time on. And another thing here is the dilution of the culture of the company. I was just making jokes with some of my colleagues that if I would change the company, except I'm changing the laptop, maybe I would have the same type of laptop. I wouldn't feel the change because we will still use maybe Outlook, Teams, Power BI, Visual Studio, and the tooling would be the same. And now working remotely, it's very common for us to hear that somebody was replaced A by B. It's just a name, it's just an ID because you don't have that connection anymore with the physical person. So for example, a good example here, I met my team only one time in 2019. So you have the name, you have the picture, the video, but you might not have the connection with the person that is behind.
For a successful business, you really, really need a very good organizational culture, and this you can accomplish only by putting people together.
And the fact that you're isolated, I think, especially as a junior, that's important and a good conclusion because you don't even know what you actually lose, but not being at the office.
And you can be stressed as well.
Yeah, you should have a strategy, or if I could decide, I would have a strategy where remote working for juniors, it's a no. They can be 1 or 2 days remotely from their home, but at least, for example, 3 days per week, they need to be in the office, and their mentor or their core team needs to be also in the office, because otherwise they will struggle. And also all the ceremonies, not the dailies, but the weekly or 2 weekly ceremonies needs to happen in the office, not because it's more easily, but for connecting the team, making that bounce that would help them to success.
Okay. And you've talked a bit at the beginning about soft skills and hard skills, and I'm thinking that it's kind of difficult to balance your efforts in learning the two of them. So how would you achieve this balance? I mean, what's important in terms of soft skills? Because we talked a bit about technologies, and what's your recommendation for our audience?
From the soft skill point of view, as I said, communication is one of the most important things, and also knowing how to communicate with non-technical people. Because in the end, you end up discussing, I wouldn't say with the main stakeholders from the department or with the organization that you bring value, but you might have, for example, working on an HR solution, and you work with somebody with HR. You need to know exactly what kind of technology you need to use, and this you can gain by time. But also there are some trainings that you can find that would make your life easier.
I would say, yeah. So I would say mostly the same thing: trainings, so that you get the fundamentals right. And then, of course, as you grow, for some specific, as it depends also on human psychologies, and as you go more into the fine tuning, then you have to either learn with a pro or with very good colleagues. But definitely communication is the key. I mean, you have to speak everything because a lot of problems are solved just by articulating correctly the problem. No misunderstanding. No, this is the key. You're fully right.
And let's give them a percentage of their time. How much time you should allocate to soft skills and to technology and hard skills? I know it's a tricky
No, I
question,
would
but
say
let's have your from both of
our gut feeling. I'll go at the beginning, let's say in the first 3 years, 30-70, 70 on the technical, 30 on the soft skills. And once your grade, your seniority goes up, you might end up after 5 years 50-50. And if you go on a more, I wouldn't say management role, but more on a role that can affect others, or you
Yes.
communicate with the customer and so on, then you should go on 70-30, 70 on soft skills and 30 on the technical skills, because in the end you have the team behind you that will support you from the technical point of view.
Yes, your success is actually being driven by the soft skills and not by the technical.
later on in the
Because
career.
this
Yeah.
is this is what you are selling actually, and your team has to deliver for sure.
Okay. And you've mentioned about communication as being the critical skill. Let's offer them one or two ways they can develop this skill. I know that you attend a lot of conferences as a speaker, both of you actually. So besides attending and speaking at events, which I think might bring a lot of value in clarifying, simplifying your thoughts, what else would you recommend?
Well, I tell you what I did when I was a
Yeah,
junior.
please.
I was very forthcoming, so I wanted to learn a lot of roles. So I wanted to be a QA, I did the QA stuff. I wanted to be a business analyst, I did this. I was a developer actually.
Yeah.
Then I started to be the solution architect. And I placed myself in all these roles, and I tried to understand the psychology of what the other counterpart is thinking about. And I was able to, it's actually related to empathy. Yeah. So
That's the word. Yeah.
and okay, in the beginning is tough because you will not be recognized as an authority in that field, but it will show goodwill, so you can play around and trying out different things. It's your self development, so you should try out different things. And as you will see what can work, what is not working with the centered person, with a certain approach, and you can fine tune it over and over and over. And this will make actually big impact on who you are and how you deal with stress, how you deal with problems, how you deal with the sale, with training, and so on. But this was my thing. I don't know.
Okay, so getting yourself exposed to multiple experiences, and then you can draw from those.
Yes, and play around, have fun. It's very important. Have fun.
Okay.
Yeah, I think long story short on this part, I would say if you have Spotify, we have a Romanian podcast called Mind Brains. I think that is that now they are season 9 or 10. Just go with it, cover it, and all part of the soft skill, understanding the behavior of the people and how you should react and how you react in different situations, covers most of the things that you should keep an eye on.
Okay. And nowadays, a lot of people are looking to change their career and move towards technology. What would be your advice for them? How to transition from completely different backgrounds to technology?
A programming language, it's very easy to learn. Let's come back to the theoretical side,
Yes.
where you need to invest a lot. Because in the past, I had experience with a great guy, was something a mid developer. He was working very nice. And one time he asked us in a call what is operating system variable. And one of the juniors that was still in the university reacted very aggressive because, oh my God, I don't know about it. And after we understood the background, we realized that that guy was coming from another specialization and he was lacking of theoretical things. So this is why I'm coming back. The theoretical things are very important on long term.
Okay.
I think if you give a person time, I think in 1 year you can achieve anything. You want to learn math, you want to learn a foreign language, a programming language, a platform, anything. I think 1 year it's enough or mostly every skill you want to acquire. Don't be afraid to do mistakes. This is how you actually learn. So in the beginning, and people around you will understand. Okay, don't be afraid to ask questions, and try to build your career path. Now you have ChatGPT. You can ask him whatever, and you'll see. Maybe you're into the C#, maybe you are into Java, maybe you are into the data or AI, machine learning, whatever. Just pick your thing and try it. 1 year, I guarantee everybody can learn anything.
If you put enough
If you
effort
put
into it,
enough
because it's
effort
not easy.
For sure, it's not easy.
Okay. And what are some entry points? I mean, now, what are some technologies or places to start if you are coming from different background? I mean, are there some easier programming languages to start with, or maybe you should go to the business intelligence area, or maybe low code, no code, or
It
RPA? What would be some?
I understand the question, and it depends. So if you're coming, let's say you're coming from financial institution, or let's say you work in a bank, maybe you are more like a business analyst person, and
Okay.
you should follow that path. And as you become a business analyst, then you can branch out, become a technical analyst, a developer, maybe a data modeler or solution architect. This takes time,
Yes.
and it needs that you acquire a lot of skills. If you are coming as I did, I worked in networking, my first job. So I went that route. I become a sysadmin, so I knew the operating systems, and from the sysadmin I started with the databases, and then with the development, and then so each. But again, you can ask ChatGPT, "I'm doing this. How can I?" And it will show you some path. It's amazing this AI what you can do with it these days.
What is the other addition would be try to keep or find a company that also work in the industry vertical where you have experience. So if you work in a bank 20 years, the knowledge of the business might be very, very valuable for the company, and you could use it to identify exactly what you should learn, what should be active. So this is another asset that you have.
That's a great idea. So thank you a lot for the conversation today. And for you who are watching, if you have more questions, I'm sure we didn't cover all the topics you're interested in. Just drop them in the comments, and with our next edition, we'll sure cover them. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.